Good morning everyone. Today we are going to see about the introduction about cryptography and network security. So in this we will be first dealing with the definition of computer security. So what is a computer security? It is nothing but providing protection to the automated information system in order to preserve integrity, availability and confidentiality of all the resources that is stored in the information system. It is nothing but what are all the informations that is stored in the computer must be preserved and must be protected, and also at the same time you must preserve the integrity means that particular information is collected from the authorized person and it is available throughout the process as the original data. Availability means whenever you are doing some processing, the data that is available in the computer must be available throughout the process without any interruption. And confidentiality means providing protection from the unauthorized persons, that is only the authorized persons can access those data. So here you can represent this as in CIA triad, that is nothing but confidentiality, integrity and availability triangular representation. Through this all these three things, confidentiality, integrity and availability, you can provide various data and services. So next we will see in detail about what is a confidentiality, what is an integrity and what is a availability. So first we will consider about confidentiality. Here you are having two different categories: data confidentiality and privacy. Data confidentiality means the providing protection of data from the unauthorized persons. That is, you must provide access to only the persons who are authorized to access those informations. If you are giving control to everyone, then some unauthorized person can change the or corrupt your data. So data confidentiality is nothing but providing protection to the data by allowing only the authorized persons to access the data. Next is privacy. Privacy means what informations you are going to collect and where you are going to store those information or data, and who is collecting that and to whom it will be revealed. All those information should be known to that user from whom you are collecting the information. Here for example you can take as a student grade information, like the particular student alone will be able to view their marks, because you will be providing, because we will be having a register number and the date of birth as a authentication. Only that person who knows that register number and the date of birth can enter into their login and they can view their grade information. So this is an example for confidentiality. The next one is integrity. Integrity means the assurance that the data received is as sent by an authorized entity. That is, the data you are having in your hand is the original information, you have got it from the authorized person. So you can take example of a patient allergic information. That is, you will be having a database where you will be having the informations like what are all the drugs or what are all the medicines to which that particular patient is allergic to, and that particular database will be shared among all the hospitals in that particular city, so that wherever that particular patient is going, all through their databases, all of them will be able to know immediately what is the medicine to which that particular patient is allergic to. So this is what, but here data integrity plays a major role, because if you have just given a given some of the information that is not true, means what happens, it will take the life of a patient. So there must be the assurance that the data that is shared in the database is the original one and given by the authorized person. So the next type of integrity is system integrity. That is, the system will be performing its function without any manipulation by the unauthorized person. The manipulation can be done only by the authorized person and it should be replicated everywhere, whereas the unauthorized persons should not be given a privilege to manipulate the information. And the last one is availability. Availability, as we have already seen, that system should work promptly and the service should be available 24/7 without any interruption. That is, it should not deny its service to the authorized persons. For example, take example of a financial company, where if you are denying a particular if you are having some lag in data transfer or some delay in the transfer, they will be having a huge amount of financial loss will be there for that organization. So the service should be provided or the data should be available throughout the process without any interruption. So this is what is the computer security and what is the CIA triad, what is this confidentiality, integrity and availability. Apart from this three things, confidentiality, integrity and availability, you are having two more concepts like authenticity and accountability. Authenticity is nothing but the assurance that the communicating entity, that is the sender and the receiver, are the trusted one. The sender is the correct person who is sending the message and receiver is the correct person who is receiving that message. The second one is accountability. Accountability is nothing but having a protection against denial of either by the sender or by the receiver when the after that communication have finished. That is, while communicating with us between the sender and the receiver, sender will be sending one information to the receiver and he can deny, like, I haven't sent that information. Similarly, receiver after receiving that message can deny that I haven't received this message. To avoid all these things, we must have that accountability. That is also called as non-repudiation. You will be calling that as a source non-repudiation and destination non-repudiation. That is, source denying I haven't sent that message. Similarly, receiver will also be denying that I haven't received that message. That is called as destination non-repudiation. Here you can take example of a online purchase of a product. So after placing the order, customer can deny that I haven't ordered that particular product in this particular time, I have ordered it afterwards. Similarly, the online shop also, they can deny, like, you have ordered this particular product in this period only, you haven't ordered and the correct time. In order to solve all these things, we will be having the accountability as whenever you are ordering a product, its purchase date and time will be there, and also you will be able to have your digital signature through which you will be having you can solve the problem of accountability or a non-repudiation or a denial of service there. Next we will see about the security attacks. What do you mean by security attacks? For that, security attack is nothing but whatever security you have provided to your system, the attacker, if they are able to attack it, that is called as attack. And threat is they were in a fear that they will be attacking your system. So that is what the difference between threat and attack. So what is security attack? It is an action that compromises the security of information. Next one is information security. What is this information security is? And information security, we will deal with how to prevent the attacks. If you are failing to prevent that attack, how to detect that attacks on the information based system. So that we will be doing it in information security. As we have seen, what is a threat and what is an attack. Threat means it may attack your system, whereas attack means it have already attacked your system and you must find a way to overcome that particular attack. So here you are having two types of attacks. One is passive attack and the second one is active attack. In passive attack is nothing but it will just steal your information without making any modification, whereas active attack means it not only steal your information, it will modify your information also. This active attack is very dangerous because they will be that particular information will be transmitted in a wrong way, whereas in passive, it will not, the transmission will not be affected, but all your informations that you have secured will be revealed to your opponent. So passive attack is very difficult to detect because it will not perform any modification, whereas active attack you can easily detect because it will perform certain modification, but it is very difficult to prevent it because of the number of vulnerabilities you are having now. So now we will see about the passive attack and the active attack. You are having two types of passive attacks. release of message contents, that is the message contents will be stolen by the attacker. And the traffic analysis is nothing but while the communication is going on, the attacker will not be knowing what the original information is, but they will be knowing the pattern in which the sender is sending the information to the receiver, and using that they will be easily guessing what may be the information. So active attack means it will attack your system and it will modify your information. So here you are having four types of attacks: masquerade, replay, modification of message, and the last one is denial of service. Masquerade means just they will be acting like a sender. The attacker will act like a sender and send the message to the receiver. Replay means the attacker will steal the information from the sender and he will replay that particular information after some time. So that is what replaying the same message some other time. Modification of message means it is clear from the heading that it will steal the message, it will perform certain modification, and then it will give the information, the attacker will provide the information to the receiver. Denial of service means that particular service will be denied to the sender or denied to the receiver, therefore not making them to communicate among themselves. So we will see in detail about passive attacks and active attacks. So this passive attacks, they will learn or make use of the information from the system, but it will not affect your resource because just they are going to listen it. That is what the example for this passive attacks are: eavesdropping or just monitoring the transmission without making any changes. As we have seen here, you are having two types: release of message contents and traffic analysis. These passive attacks are very difficult to detect because they are not doing any modification or alteration on the data. Therefore, you will not be able to know that whether an attack have happened on you or not. So we will see all these different types of attacks using a diagram. So this is an example for release of message contents. Here the sender Bob is sending an information to Alice, but Darth is the attacker who is stealing the information that is sent by the Bob. That is what release of message contents from the Bob to Darth. They will not be knowing about this attack because the Darth is not doing any modification or alteration. Just he is going to listen to what Bob is sending to Alice. This is what called as release of message contents. The next one is traffic analysis. Here Darth will not be knowing what is the original data is, but Bob will be able to identify the pattern in which the Bob is communicating with Alice. Through that he will be easily fetching your information. Next we will see about active attacks. Active attacks, here active attacks are nothing but they will perform the certain alterations or modification on your data. Therefore it is very easy to detect, but it is very difficult to prevent because of the number of vulnerabilities that are available now in online. So what are all the different types of active attacks that we have already seen? You are having masquerade, replay, modification of messages, and denial of service. So the major goal in both the attacks are you have to detect what is the attack that have happened, and you must find a method or a way to recover from that attack. So we will see about all those active attacks through the diagram. Here masquerade means this Darth will be acting like a sender Bob, but he is not a Bob, he is a attacker, but Alice is unaware of that. She will be assuming that she is getting the message from Bob only, and Bob will be assuming that he is sending the information to Alice, but in between the attacker Darth will be sending the information to Alice. That is what masquerade means. Darth will wear a mask of Bob and send that information to Alice. So the second type is replay. What the Darth will be doing is, after fetching the information from Bob, he will keep and he will process something and he will make use of that particular information, and after some time he will be replaying the same message to Alice as if just now Bob have transferred that message. So here there is a number of attacks will be happening, so that you will here you can easily identify whether have attack have happened or not. So the next type is modification of message. So here obviously whatever the information that is sent by Bob, that will be modified by the attacker Darth, and after modification that particular message will be sent to Alice. And the last one is denial of service. That is, Darth will deny the service to Bob to send the information to Alice. Similarly, Alice will be disrupted from the service provided by the server. So this is what denying the service of servers to both the sender and the receiver. So these are all the four types of attacks you are having here in active attacks. So next we will see about the model for network security. Here the main thing is you have to securely transfer your information between the sender and the receiver. If you are sending the original message, surely that will be attacked by the attacker like Darth. So what we have to do is you have to make use of an algorithm, that is an encryption algorithm and a decryption algorithm, to change your original message or a plain text to a cipher text. That is, here the sender is sending the message, and how he is sending, he is transferring that particular message to a secured message using security related transformation. That is nothing but the encryption algorithm. If you are going to make use of encryption algorithm, surely that encryption algorithm must have a key to perform the encryption. That is what is called a secret information. So after performing this encryption algorithm using that secret information, that message, original message or the plain text will be transferred to a secured message or the cipher text. After that, the cipher text is the thing which will be in an unreadable format. Even though the attacker is retrieving it or tracing it, he will not be understand what is the original information will be. So it will pass through the information channel, and at the receiver end the message will be sent as a secured message only. And here again the receiver must use the decryption algorithm, and he must use the same key in order to reveal to transfer that particular cipher text to a plain text or the secured message to a message. So this is the way how they will be transferring, and how the secret information or the key is transferred between the sender and the receiver is through the trusted third party. So next we will see now what are all the 5 steps or 4 steps you are having here. First thing is you have to design a algorithm for secured transformation. Next is you have to generate the secret information or the keys to be used in both the encryption and the decryption algorithm. Third one is you must develop a method to distribute and share the secret information. That is what we have done using that trusted third party. And the last one is you have to specify a set of protocols or the rules to be used during the transformation and also during the sharing of that secret information for providing a secured service. So this is about the model for network security. Next we will see about the model for network access security. While accessing the information system, how the security is provided. So here an opponent, either he may be a human or a software. So what they will be doing, they will be entering into that access channel. Before entering into the information system, there will be a gatekeeper function. This proper gatekeeper function, what it will do is it will allow only the authorized persons to access the information system. The unauthorized persons will be filtered here. They will not be given permission to enter into that information system. Within that information system, you will be having all the system resources or the sensitive data that you are going to make use, and all the process, software, everything will be there. Apart from that, here you must also specify the security controls. Who are all the persons who can make this modification must also be specified. That we will see here. In this model for network access security, 2 main things are required here. The first one is the exact correct gatekeeper function in order to identify the authorized person. And the second one is you have to implement security controls in order to allow only the authorized persons to access your information or the resources. So this is about the model for network access security. So today we have seen about the introduction about what is a computer security, what is that CIA triad, what is a confidentiality, what is integrity, what is availability, and then we have seen about the attacks, what is the active attack, what is a passive attack, which can be easily detected, which can be easily prevented. And next we have seen about two models, model for network security and then the model for network access security. Thank you.